Welcome back to Calm, Cool, and Connected. I'm Rachel Ann Dine, licensed professional counselor and host of Calm, Cool, and Connected. And I'm excited to share some of my very own favorite strategies for living well, and that is to practice mindfulness and meditation. Sometimes these concepts can be a bit ambiguous or even overwhelming if you've heard of it but aren't quite sure where to start. And so I want to really break it down for you today, just so that you have some great takeaway actionable items that you can apply to your life. So, at the very core of its being, mindfulness is essentially staying in the present moment and calming your mind. The beautiful part of mindfulness is that it can be practiced anywhere and everywhere. And there are so many great benefits to living the mindful lifestyle. Some of my favorite and top benefits that I love to share is that number one, being mindful actually reduces stress, helps a person to manage anxiety and depression, increases the connection with self, lowers your blood pressure, and can actually change the brain. Now, when I talk about these physiological effects, to me, it's just a powerful testament to how watching your thoughts and calming your brain can be on your body. When I say that mindfulness can change your brain, we all have a piece of our brain. It's called gray matter. And our gray matter is linked to our learning, our memory, our emotional regulation, and our ability to practice empathy. And so by implementing techniques of mindfulness, it actually boosts the gray matter. And what a beautiful experience that is. So you may be wondering, these are these are great facts to kind of lean back on, but I'm still a little skeptical. Why should I be mindful? So, not only for all of those previously mentioned aspects, but to learn to control your thoughts and not allow your thoughts and emotions to control you. A study shows that human beings on average have 6,200 thoughts a day. That is a whole lot of cognition, a whole lot of thinking, decision making. And so it's no wonder to me that anxiety and even depression are at all-time highs, just to have that constant influx of thoughts going through your brains. And the way I like to describe it is that oftentimes there's three different kinds of elements of where thoughts can lie. Thoughts can lie in the past, the present with being mindful, or in the future. Now, when we get too wrapped up in the thinking about the past, that's where feelings of depression and anxiety can come into play. When we get too far ahead into the future and start worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, that's when anxiety comes to play. And mindfulness really seeks to keep you balanced right there in that present moment. So, mindfulness and meditation is all about learning to observe your thoughts, not absorb them. So, if you have a thought that says, I'm a failure, I'm a joke, I'm not going to do well, it's learning to observe, okay, I'm having this negative thought of self, but I am going to actively acknowledge that I'm not a failure. And so it's really starting to teach your way out of those negative thoughts. Now, here's the good stuff: how to become more mindful. And I will share that it is a daily effort and practice. It's not something that one day you just wake up and it's perfect. It's something that is to be worked on, and even how to meditate. So, the first step of encouragement in your journey to be more mindful and even practice meditation is to start noticing and taking inventory of the thoughts that you're having. So, we've already talked about there's about 6,200 thoughts that an average person has per day. That's a lot, but let's start to notice the main thoughts that are floating through your head. Are they harmful? Are they helpful? Recognition is always the first step. And from there, we're going to hone in. If they're harmful to us, if they're not going to help us be that best version of ourselves or give us that boost of self-confidence, if they're inserting self-doubt and low self-worth, we need to work to observe them and not absorb them. The third kind of piece of this is to recognize you always have the power to stop a thought and start to change it. So continue your mindful meditation journey. The other piece is to always work on grounding yourself. This is something I like to do if I start to have an anxious moment. And that's where you literally take inventory of your surroundings. It can be touching three different things just to practice that literal grounding. I like to think about if somebody has driving anxiety. We know, and if you have that anxiety going over bridges or driving on a busy highway, it can pop up. Your breath can start becoming short, heart starts racing. One of the best things to do is that grounding tool. So focus, my hands are on the wheel. I can touch my seat. I can touch my pant leg. You're literally bringing yourself back to the here and now, that present moment. The second piece is in your mindfulness quest, and even during a meditation practice, which I'll get a little bit more to, pay attention to your breathing and how your body is reacting. When we are under an immense amount of stress, it is not, out of the norm for your body to clench up, your palms to become sweaty, hands to become clenched. So it's just starting to notice, okay, my shoulders are up by my head. I need to relax and focus on that breathing. When I think about meditation, I like to practice meditation myself. It is not a formal practice. It is not a regimented practice. I make it work for me, and I want you to make it work for you. Sometimes we think about the person sitting sitting with their legs crossed on the floor and deep breathing without thinking any thoughts. And if that sounds overwhelming or intimidating, I want you to just, even if you need to lay down and practice clearing the mind and bringing your thoughts just to that present moment, that's all that you have to do in that time. There are some great apps out there that are free to use to even get you on a guided meditation. Highly recommend the Calm app. That's CLAM, Calm, or Headspace. Both of them are accessible, easy to use. Highly recommend, especially if you get easily distracted. They're a great way to listen to even a story that keeps you in that present moment. So wherever you are, just know that mindfulness and practicing meditation, it's a great tool to kind of balance out the brain, reduce stress, and help to better manage anxiety and depression. I really hope that you have gotten some great tips from this segment today here at Calm, Cool, and Connected. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to share this with somebody who may benefit, save it, or rate and review our podcast so that more people can catch our episodes and receive some great strategies for living life well. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time at Calm, Cool, and Connected.